Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design, and today I'm out in the side yard, right here at Sue's garden. I want to show you that real quick, and then I want to talk about my wind turbine. First off, let's look at the garden. Now, maybe a week ago, Sue pulled all the weeds and everything out of this garden, and then she covered it with manure and lime, and then rototilled it all in with a little Manus rototiller. You can see all the lines where she did it. So this is already next spring. All she's got to do is come out when it gets dry enough and plant. Okay, that's the garden. And I got to tell you, this garden this year was the best garden we've ever had. We had green peppers, all kinds of green peppers and tomatoes and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't a good year for carrots, but it was a great year for green peppers and tomatoes. Okay, this is my, over here on this side of the garden is my windmill. This is called a gin pole, and what that does is, it has a cable running up here, and what that does is, that's just a lever at 90 degrees, and my winch is hooked to it right here, and that gives me, when the windmill tower is laying flat, it gives me an advantage to lift it off the ground and pick it up. And because of the leverage advantage, it only takes, maybe 50 pounds of pressure because of the way it's balanced to lift it off the ground. Now this tower that the windmill is on is an old ham radio tower and not an expensive one. It was given to me by a friend, and it's 60 feet high, and it's actually 50 feet high, and then there's another extension above that. I think the top edge of the blade is 60 feet, so it's actually only 55. So that's the tower. Now let me step out of the way here so you can see the windmill itself. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, this windmill has 3 fiberglass blades on it that I bought for $85 off the internet, and they came with a metal hub. The actual windmill itself is a U-Pigott windmill, U-Pigott, Scourge Wind Farms, and I think in Scotland. He has a website. You just Google U-P-I-G-G-O-T-T and it'll take you right to it. This is a double disc. It has 2 12-inch discs on it, 5/16 of an inch thick, 24 2-inch by 1-inch by 1/2 rare earth magnets. It has 12 coils wound with, I can't remember what size wire, 80 winds. And then it has 5 rectifiers that rectify the power, and it comes down the line and goes across and goes into my shop over there. And when it gets into the shop, it's what they call wild DC. It's pulsating DC, but it's wild DC. And that goes into the batteries. The batteries don't care if the DC is wild or tame, or they don't care what it is for DC. DC is DC. 14-volt DC is what it charges the batteries with, and the batteries don't care whether it's pulsing or not. Now, once the batteries are charged up, let me take you inside. I only have 2 deep cycle batteries here right now. Once those batteries are charged up, then you run it through an inverter, and when you plug into the inverter and turn it on, you get what the end product is, DC, which you can run lights and lathes and all kinds of things off of. It's not a huge amount of DC, but it's probably 5 amps of DC. And that's more than enough to run anything that I want to run out here, because everything I have is small. This here only draws like half, 3/4 of an amp. So it's pretty valuable stuff, especially when the power is out. So that's basically how that system works. I've got a thing here to monitor it. Right now the batteries are at, kind of glare on it, 13 volts even. And this is the thing that just turns that on and off, so if you don't want it to draw power. This is, you flip it, it'll turn the charge off or turn it on if there's something happened and you want to shut off the charge of the batteries. And this turns this unit on and off. With this on, this unit monitors the batteries, and if the voltage gets too high because it's a high wind and the windmill is spinning too fast, it'll come in and start a dump load, and it'll draw the power off and stop it from overcharging the batteries. So that's basic windmill configuration. Nothing fancy, but it works quite well for me. At one time I ran everything in my factory with it, but when I get up to the bigger equipment it wouldn't handle it anymore. What I need is bigger windmill, more batteries. I'm holding out for the Mylar sheet solar panels to get away from the windmill altogether. Now another thing I wanted to show you was these cables go from way up the top of the windmill tower all the way down, and they go into this cement pylon. Now this pylon, this is just the tip of it. This goes down into the ground probably 6 feet, and it's like a half a ton of cement there. And then to adjust the windmill tower to get it level, I have these on boat winches, so I can adjust it any way I want to get it completely level. And it's very important that the tower be absolutely straight up, or when it swivels, it won't swivel all the way around freely. It'll be lopsided and hang to one side, so it has to be completely level. So, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.